that in mind, I'll show you some of what I've been up to. I don't think I ever even showed you most of my June setup, did I? And hello, Satrium. Hello, Nova. Hi, Daz. Hello, James. Big hugs back. Hi, Velrith. Good to see y'all. All right. So, my June theme has been butterflies. I had just started this, I think, the last time that I showed you guys a flip through. So this will be a quick and dirty flip through. This is my calendar for the month. I have some butterfly stamps that I'm using to mark the days. As you can see, I'm a couple days behind in the marking of it, just because I didn't want to mess around with my stamps at the weird hours. Sleep tracker, mood and sleep tracker. I broke this down into like daytime and nighttime, and then an overall rating. I like the death's head moth. More details about that, plus the butterflies. I really like the decorative butterflies. This was my future log for the month. I really like these. It's a moth. You can't see it very well. My extra credit, month at a glance, shopping list, projects and goals. I was really proud of this page. I liked it a lot. Exercises, sunshine. As you can see, I was lazy for a few days. Well, I was really sore for a few days. Let's just be honest here. It wasn't about being lazy. It was about being... I hurt, right? My waterfall tabs, my productivity rater. It's okay to have bad and unproductive days. Thank you so much, Nat, for the really lovely stickers that's with that. You world build adventure journal, Daz. Yes, absolutely. Journaling is still journaling, and it's still part of the whole process. Lots of people actually do keep journals specifically for plotting or world building or other creative projects. So, by the way, never mind, my cat mauled me last week. I guess I picked her up wrong, and she was just scrabbling, you know. I think I don't know, a just weird angle. She didn't like it. You haven't done real bullet journaling for a while, says Satrium, and you're back to thought dumping and mental health writing. Hey, that's cool. That works. This month I broke down my meds tracker into 3 separate little trackers. I think I like that. I'm going to keep doing it. This is a sticker I actually happened to get from our local Pride celebration. Those aren't butterflies in my stomach, she said. They're shooting stars. Quote from Johnny Ox. Hygiene tracker. I was not very great with the hygiene yesterday. Food tracker. It's all over the place. Triggers. Self-care bingo. I'm also using stamps for that. Daily wins and daily gratitude. Just to note here, I had to draw some arrows around because I put things in the wrong place. This is fine when you're doing your journaling, guys. If you know what it means, it's fine. Tracking of when we last watered things for gardening is basically what that turns out to be. This is like latest notes on different games that I'm playing and kind of a brief last thing that happened. I'm playing 3 different games at the moment, so it's important to track. Help desk, this is my category. I really liked how this turned out. I think I did this on the last bullet journaling stream that I did with the greens and the pinks and the yellows. And this is for admin stuff, like did I call the doctor or whatever. This is cat herding. This is for project management with Game of Tomes, who I talk to about what and when. This is my shit show coordinator spread for the month. Got quite a list of things that have been done. I have to put another sticker over it now. Current next meeting is clear. I don't remember when the next meeting is. Writing tracker. Each one of these, I did it differently this month. Rather than tracking individual projects, I just went, okay, whatever. I've got too much going on. I'm just going to track what I'm writing, total. Right? And I have like... each one of these butterflies represents 1,000 words from the point that I started tracking. But when I actually have to update it because I went back into my For the Words and I think I've got something like 25,000 words that I've written this month, all of which tends to be related to Game of Tomes stuff. This is all like This is, I did this differently this month too. Instead of doing it with like the sticky notes, because I didn't have that many projects. Well, okay, I had too many projects floating to do it, right? But so instead, what I've done is listing the articles that I've been writing, because that's primarily what I've been doing, and just kind of doing one scene at a time with my video project. So, yeah. Contact log. This is just social stuff. I put some stuff here in the wrong spot and crossed it out. That's okay too. Memories to preserve. I really kind of like how this page turned out. I have done no long form journaling this month. I have not needed it. Not really. I've covered what I need to cover in my daily journaling, which is here. Okay, see you later, Satrium. Good luck when you get back home. Thank you for setting up the bot. Much appreciated. I'm glad to see you. Safe trip home. This is my weekly planner. Like I said, this has become kind of my lifeline. I have not filled in my plans for today, which are here, except for the stream today. So I might want to do that in the course. Nor have I finished my migration of stuff that I didn't accomplish last week, kind of as an overall weekly view in the different areas: work, admin, domestic, and relationships. So that may be something I'll want to do today. And now we're moving into July. So July, I was looking for a way to use up some of the stickers that I had from other things that I didn't have a particular plan with. And I looked and I realized that from my fall list, sorry, excuse me, I had a bunch of stuff related to camping and outdoorsy stuff. And then I had in my Happy Planner stickers, I had a bunch of stuff related to summertime and the beach and whatnot. This is the Happy Planner book. I'd show you the fall book, but it's kind of destroyed at this point, so it's almost impossible to recognize. And most of the stickers are gone. Remember, I started with that in my second month of bullet journaling. Yeah, it's leftovers month. Okay, so my theme is summer camp, and I went with kind of a... Okay, so when I was a kid at summer camp, because I used to go to Brownie and Girl Guide camps and stuff like that, like, what would we do? What are the kind of things you do at summer camp? And I kind of kept that in mind. So this is crayon art. I have done a lot of stuff specifically with crayons for this month, and these colorful childlike stickers. Or stamps, rather. This is a set of stamps that I got at a dollar store that are self-inking. And I thought they were cute. I thought they'd work for Pride Month because they're like multicolors. But I also thought that they'd be cute for this month. So going for that, you know, kids at camp vibe. So there's my calendar set out for the month. We've got some hot dog stickers. Oh, I love this. This is part of a set of stickers that Shai gave me that she got from Japan, right? With these cute little cat mascots, you know, that are associated with a brand of canned tuna, I guess. And this is the canned tuna. And I thought, well, canned tuna, you know, we eat canned stuff while we're camping, right? So the colors are all over the place, and that's absolutely intentional. Right? Because I'm going for that whole, I'm a little kid making shit with my creative craft projects feel. Also, that is part of why the letters are kind of deliberately off center or messed up. It's part of the look. It's what I intended. Crayons over here. Pretty happy with that. My birthday's coming up in the month. I'm finding that I'm not consulting my shopping list as much as I need to. So this time I made sure to leave room for this again on my calendar page as opposed to my month at a glance, so that it's right at the beginning and I can't miss it. So I'm going to put that's where I'm going to put my immediate shopping list this month. And I'll use the other sticky notes for just notes or whatever. Sleep tracker. I kind of picked out general washi tapes that either gave like a, summer camp in some way, right? So I've got like creative, colorful, crafty stuff, the night sky, because sleeping under the stars. The moons seem to go with it just for that reason. This is actually from the bunnies and the dandelions are, of course, a staple. But this is actually from my Western washi tapes. But, this doesn't look dissimilar from a lot of places around here. And when you go camping in Canada in the summer, you go to the mountains, right? Or you go to a lake. That's where you go. Usually a mountain lake. So this seemed absolutely appropriate. Like, this isn't dissimilar from the landscape part of where I live in the Okanagan and Shuswap. That really is a very home sort of look to me, so I put it there, right? We've also got a more stylized look into, a woodland and mountains at night, and, this was with my butterfly set, but I thought it implied that forest foliage kind of look, especially in areas near the lower mainland or in wetter mountains around here. Mood tracker, I decided that I really liked the 3 format, breaking it down into morning and evening, and also having a daily overall rating. And that's the breakdown from there, where I've got a combination of different stickers, the camping stuff. This actually came from the Valentine's Day set. This is from the back to school stickers. But, camping, summertime. It's leftovers month. Exactly. Daily log, or future log, where I've put in the dates that we're planning results streams for the month. Notes about things I'll have to, like, this is coming up. I should have called it coming up. I'm going to in the future. Extra credit, I had this chopping block, woodland chopping block left over. And this sticker is actually a brand sticker from the Alice in Wonderland Etsy creator that I ordered some stickers from, or rather Erin did on my behalf. But I mean, come on, it's a frog and strawberries. I mean, summer. This also looks very much like the landscape here in the morning when you're camping. Probably these orange trees imply more fall, but to be honest, in a lot of the woods around here, we have pine beetles, and, there's also fire damaged trees, and they have kind of an orange cast to them. So I figured it was kind of not really, it didn't matter. I didn't have to be that specific, right? I went for very colorful, a kind of a rainbow colory thing. And notice I wrote in crayon up here for my month at a glance. But this post-it notes that I had that were sort of semi-appropriate. I mean, these are still from the Easter set. They imply spring, but I thought they worked for summer too. Hey, babe, thank you for the sub. Yeah. So again, the meds tracker. I accidentally put the exercise tracker on the same page. Normally, I think I put the exercise and the sunshine tracker on the same page, but I thought, well, doesn't matter. Also, it's probably a good idea to prioritize exercise as one of my first things in my waterfall trackers section, because it's July, right? I'm going to be sitting on my ass writing a lot, making sure that I take breaks to get exercise, and taking note of it as a priority is probably a good idea. So, productivity tracker, instead of putting designs here, I went with the more, looking like memos, post-it notes that you might see at a summer camp. And, yes, I did the tracker in crayon. I added a meditation tracker because this is something that I was doing daily at one point and I've stopped, and I want to get back into it. So I put it with my sunshine tracker, and this is kind of like a mental health page to to do. So hopefully it'll all come together. This came from my butterflies that I got actually as an Easter set. But, I mean, it's a monarch butterfly, right? So it works. Hygiene tracker. Food tracker I haven't finished setting up yet. That's going to have, multiple colors of highlighters too to separate things. Triggers log. This is where I would normally put my self-care bingo. But because I'm going to be doing the Self-Care Mafia self-care bingo over the month, I am not doing additional self-care bingo. So I made a page for it, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this page now? So I decided I would track my articles here. The articles that I finished for summer camp, I would make a note of here and probably the category that I entered them in. I love that washi tape. Look at that. It's so pretty. Daily wins, daily gratitude. Kind of went with a slightly different focus on the other side there. Gardening, again, that's going to be a record of like when I last watered and stuff. Or weeded. Or, things I need to do, like I need to get some dirt for my potatoes. How doing today, babe? I hadn't seen him yet today. I guess he got up just a few minutes ago. Either that or Steve went to bed, one of the two. Contacts, that's again a contact log. Help desk. There's another one of those stickers. I thought it was perfect for the cat herding category, which again is not finished, but you can see I start to get shit on my book, right? Shit show coordinator spread intention. I don't know what I'm going to do for the goofy shit in between. I'm going to have to work hard to make this goofier than the rest of the spread. All right, this is where I left room for writing notes, and this is probably, I'm going to do another, this is where I'm going to keep track of words in different projects, probably. Either that or I'm going to take note of different projects that I have worked on and what I've done most recently in them in a note point form. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do my grid setup like that, which I have done in previous events, or if I'm going to do like just columns and, point form notes about what I've accomplished. There will be, of course, some decoration on the page as well, but okay, this is where I'm going to put my overall writing tracker for the month, and I have a specific plan that I'm going to use because I'm going to basically borrow a format that Lady Winter created in a downloadable tracker that she shared with Game of Tomes, and then I'm going to but I'm going to draw it in because it fits my space better that way. And I might work on that today, depending on how much time we end up having. This is where I'm planning on putting the self-care bingo sheets and the tiny tasks. And this is the space I've left for my long-form journaling. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these pages yet. And my daily log, I haven't decided what I'm doing with that yet either exactly. I have done my weekly planners, though. This time, instead of putting the date specifically on each one, I decided to skip it just because it was a pain in the ass to deal with the stamps. I didn't want to bother. So, I think I need some better number stamps. But, be that as it may, this is the week that starts on June 30th, being a Monday. Right, and it ends on July 6th. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Hey, Aegis. Hey, Stretch. Good to see you. Yeah, note the note the crayon. Right. Basically, the colors are inspired by whatever the washi tapes turned out to be. So I figured, depending on the different week. It's actually one of the most simple forms of these trackers. That's from the bees set, by the way. I mean, insects are always a part of it. Oh yeah, I should talk about these. Okay, so work you recognize. I decided to use a shopping cart for admin because it's like that basic kind of, go out and do things you have to get accomplished to adult, is what this category is for. So, and like I said, that's a category overall for the week. So I don't know, I was using a particular stamp set and I didn't want to, I didn't have a single word in that stamp set that said admin. So I used that. Home for domestic and the heart for relationships, right? So previously, in the previous month, I used the heart for relationships because relationships was too long in my stamp setup. It just did not fit in that space. I could have gone with a 2-line setup like I did with the shit show coordinator. And that's actually kind of fun because that's a set of stamps that works kind of like a printing press, and you put them all together and then in a block and then you go ka-chunk and they're all interchangeable, right? So that was fun. But I didn't want to mess with that stamp set for this. I wanted to keep the font kind of consistent, right? So yeah, different things about camping. I think this is where I was going to keep track of my For the Words quests. Is that what this says? Yeah, that's what that says. Okay. And then, what I've accomplished and where I'm at. And this will be the page for memories, which is a combination of the summer theme ones and something from the back to school setup. And then at that point, we're going to be at the end of the journal. We have 2 pages left after that, and I will have to start a new book. So, in this page, I'm thinking this is where I did the poetry for the lit games in the last event. I did it in my analog book, and I found that helpful to the format of writing it. And, it stimulated my creativity. So I'm probably going to use these last 2 pages for that again. And if I have space, this will be the yearly review, or the, term review page, which is a quarter basically, because this will be a total of 3 months at that point. So score, I guess, on my behalf for finishing the book. Now, my next journals don't have this pocket, so I'm probably going to add one. Figure out how it's constructed and glue one in myself. Oh, happy birthday, baby! Yes, it is Aaron's birthday today. I celebrated it with him on the weekend a little, but yes, it is his birthday today. I love you, honey. All right, so that's my flip through. According to the time thing, we have 45 minutes left, so I thought we could do a couple of different things. We could do a plan with me where I worked on my writing tracker with the which I meant to do on another stream, but I don't think I ever did because I had another project that I did first that had to be done. But that's what I want to work on today, so I could do that. Or alternatively, I could try to help people. Look at that dirt on my. That's paint from yesterday. I could try to help people come up with ideas and break blocks. I know that I've been talking to Clockwocket a lot, and Clockwocket has really been struggling, keeping up with just the basic tracking has been difficult, right? And he has found, as you do when you're experimenting and learning how to do this, that some of the stuff that he planned didn't work out the way he thought it would, and other things, might be more necessary. And if you have those kind of questions, I am here to answer them today to the best of my ability and maybe help you find solutions. So, but I mean, that will depend on who is here. And I see that, the people I expected to ask those questions are not currently here. So maybe that's not something we want to do today. I'm kind of up in the air about it personally. But we're going to ignore this section and we're going to do this part. I can get it started anyway. First, though, there is going to be a quick bio break. I will be right back, guys. If you have thoughts about which way you'd like me to go, or if you have questions that you'd like to ask, or topics you'd like to discuss, feel free to drop them in the chat while I am gone, and I will be right back. I take it since there are no questions in the chat that I should do a plan with me session. So I'm gonna put on some music and start working on the thing that I'm gonna work on here. Probably the music that I was listening to will be fine. I'll just turn it down a little bit. All right. So I was looking at Hero Forge, but what I want to do no, that's not what I want. Why do I have 3 different windows of that? No, I meant to shut that down, you dorks. Okay. Okay, this is what I want. Ah, you can't see it anyway. Okay. Well, I'll put it up in a minute here. Where's the trackers? Recently, this was reorganized by someone who is not me, so now I have no idea where anything is. I may be better off finding that in the channel. Let's see here. I think it was in the general writing channel. Just a second. I think I'm going to add some different, like, sounds in here because that keeps, like, stopping and starting and it's weird to me. No, that does not work. That kind of hurts my head, actually. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. That's what I'm after. Okay. Hey, Rue, good to see ya. Okay, so I'm going to share the link of what I'm doing here. Hopefully it comes through. This is the tracker that was created by Lady Winter. And basically, I'm going to be imitating the format of this tracker. This used to be available as a download, and now I don't know how to find it. So, I better talk to JC about that. But at any rate, that's what I'm going to be working on here today, is basically making that tracker in this book. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to pop out for just a second. I'm not going to put the Be Right Back screen on because I need to grab the crayons. Oh, wait, no, I got the crayons. They're right here. Hyper focused on Minecraft. Perfectly understandable, Stretch. Happy birthday to my honey. Okay. No game tonight? Okay, thank you. Try not to eat the crayons. Yeah, I was saying, actually, Stretch, you missed it, but I am deliberately using that. My theme is summer camp for this month's journal, and I am deliberately going with the childish crafting thing. So I found some crayons, because we keep them for the grandkids, right? And I'm like actually using crayons to do a lot of the stuff in it to make it look like that child feel of things, right? There's my crayon art. So yeah. We're having some fun. All right. So I'd really like to actually look at my previous tracker, how I set it up in the book, so that I don't have to think again about how many spaces I need. So I'm going to go over and grab that journal. There it is, the previous journal. We'll give you extra birthday time with Aaron. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry there's no game tonight, though. Alright, so previous event. See, there's my poetry. I was writing haikus. I'll probably do the same thing again. I actually really enjoyed that. Mostly I was doing it because I was in a fucking hurry and wanted to participate, and I'm like, okay, haikus for anything I can think of that would be a good haiku, and limericks for the prompts if not. That was my plan. It worked. I got almost everything. So almost all the prompts. Okay, so the crayons are in here. This will be the goal tracker. What am I going to set my goal as for the month? There's a question. Anybody know why chicken farms don't work anymore? Nope, I haven't been on Minecraft in a while. I'm disappointed if they don't. That doesn't sound right. That was your best basic food in a game. I think basically I'm gonna kind of imitate this format and go, like, obviously I was using kind of a rainbow setup here. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Each space was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Okay. Yeah, I think that could work. The baby chickens are getting hit by the next egg that comes out, which moves enough to hit the lava. Oh no. That does not sound like a good thing. Okay, so we're going to need some washi tape. I like the way I did this with the Scrabble tiles, but I think I'm going to do that with the colorful stamps this time. Yeah, Nova says I can sneak in haikus in 15-minute break periods, so they're perfect. Also, a friend has a paint chip poetry redeem that I took advantage of. That paint chip poetry. What is paint chip poetry? I do not know. In just a second, I'll be right back because I need my washi tape and my stamps. 1 sec. Prompts to include names of paint colors picked at random, usually to be included in haikus, but I did a lot of freeform that way. That's cool. Okay, so this is my currently completely disorganized box of stamp stuff. We're going to have to put it over here on the bed and try to... No, okay, here we go. I think I can put it by the light without knocking anything over. Let's try that. Might have to move the light a little bit. There we go. This is the box of washi tapes that I have picked out for this month to use. So we'll be selecting our washi tapes from those. Okay, see you later, James. Thanks for joining me. All right. So first thing I need to do is set up the washi tape surroundings here. Well, I have one good up and down tape. I think I'll leave the spot on the side for stickers over here. But I've got these leaves. Hey, no, we do not claw my chair. No, we do not. And honestly, Teddy, we have no room for Kitty today. I know. It's a betrayal. I understand. I think I actually want to do it like that. There. Because if I'm going to cut something off, I'd rather cut it off at the bottom than the top. Hey, Lady Winter, I was just talking about you. I am currently setting up my monthly writing tracker for July in, like, my goal tracker in my bullet journal here. And I am, of course, modeling it after the lovely tracker that you made. That was my April version. And I will now be doing a July version. My theme being summer camp, I'm going for that, you know, little kids at camp kind of look to things. So... we're going to be doing crayon art. Oh yeah, there's this one too. I forgot. This also goes up and down. Well, maybe I'll use that over there. Okay. Also, you could get away with the moons going up and down, or this one, or that one, or that one. So I'll put those over there. I am getting quite a lot of use out of it, and I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, so vote. Bunnies and dandelions across the bottom? Or no, do not claw my chair. Or there's like one of these guys. Or should I go with like a completely night theme? That's the stylized washi tape there with the gold foil. You're gonna have to wait till I'm done, baby. It's only 15 minutes. You'll be fine. You know what? It's been a really rainy month. Or do you think I should go with bunnies for the superstition? Support my team, you know? In which case, I guess instead of this one, I could always do, like... Or the insects. Come on, guys, help me out. I have decision paralysis. ADHD problems. Use the bunnies? Okay. Okay, bunnies it is. Might change this one then. That might be a little dark. But we will use the bunnies. Out of superstition. Because support my team. That actually gives me some direction with the stickers, too. I still have bunny stickers that I can probably use up as part of this. Some of them, anyway. Doesn't go at all. I'll need a thinner tape up top.
Honey badger don't care. Honey badger don't give a shit. It just takes what it wants.
Are you being a honey badger, baby? I guess that could bring it together, actually. Okay, we'll do that. No, he says.
I'm a bunny.
Well, that's true. He does write for Lapin now. Which I appreciate. Yeah, that works. It's not terribly fancy and colorful yet, but it will be. trying to round off the corner here. I need one of those corner clipper things. Well, I don't really. If I did, you know, like if I were doing this professionally, I suppose I would invest in one because I would end up spending less time. But okay, there we go. Now I guess we'll put all the washi tapes back in here that I'm not going to use because that way they don't get destroyed. I mean, I could use that one, but I'm afraid of not having enough space. I could possibly use that one along the side, so keep that out. I still might use that one. All right. Now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. And, you know, since this is the theme here is little kid at a summer camp, I am not going to use a ruler, right? I am going to specifically do things a little messy. That's kind of the intention. I'm just wondering if I should do red or pink because I will not have the full rainbow, right? It's 6 days. Well, actually, 31. I'm gonna need more room on one row. I might be better doing this in a slightly different format, actually. If I do like, excuse me, because it's all 31 days, I might be better off dividing it by weeks, do 7, 7, 7, 7, right? And then 29, 30, and 31 be over here. Which means I'll end up with a little space there to do something with and a thin line. Well, let's see what it would look like. Are we going with pink or red? Actually, why don't I look and see what felt colors I have? Because I could do felts as an outliner. I've picked a, well, okay, that actually decides me here. I didn't put orange in here. Fine. Maybe I didn't need the orange felts because it didn't match my markers. That's probably, or the stamps rather. All right, I'm gonna do a little swatching here to see what colors, you know what, and that's what my tip-in pile of spare paper is for. This one's kind of trashed on the end. We're not going to be using that part anyway, so let's just tear that off. We'll use that for a swatch. How dark are these markers? Okay, so that's the pink. Put those up here. Red. That yellow isn't very good. I wonder if it dried out. It's a fairly dark blue there. Of course, if I threw in an orange marker as well, then I'd have all the house colors, wouldn't I? In which case I could do it as groups of 4. Basically what I'm doing here is I know from previous experience that a box 6 by 6 is about the right size. I may or may not use felts at this point, but what I've decided to do is go a week and a week and a week and then the leftover days. Gotcha there, Winter. Right, but I'm doing like 4 of each house color, and I'm doing in descending rainbow order, so because that was the way my little autistic child mind worked. I would do systems that complex, so okay, so now we have 4 of the orange. The yellow broke. It's of course gold for Sarapata. Green for Mellies. Gonna have to wait, kitty. I know you're bored. Two, and this will be the last one then. Not sure which blue to go with. I think I'll go with this one because it's closer to the stamp. Okay, and now it's time for, yeah, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay, time for purple. Okay. And then we have 3 left over plus the 4. Do I have an extra color? Oh well, I don't suppose it, matters if all the last bits are for Lapin, does it? Well, maybe I'll put the last week being like... I mean, it is my house. I do want to encourage them. Although, to be fair, I think it'd really be nice to see a Sauropod or a Mollusca Victory, or maybe an Ilurus one. Okay, so we're at 28. Knock it off, mister. Patience. 29, 30, 31. All right, and that's my calendar. So, I'm going to be decorating this slightly differently. Stop with the claws, Buster. Would you like a lap? I'm talking to Teddy, of course, my needy Maine Coon kitty. Hi, baby. Can you come up on my lap and stop being a pain in my ass? No, you're paying attention to me now, so I'm going to ignore you. Okay, fine. You're such a little shit. All right. So I have some bunny stickers that I have yet to use that I think would go very well. And what I need to do is kind of have a, did I get my goal that week section there. So, but also, I want to do this setup with a circle and a box. Box with my actual total, or with my goal, and box with my actual total. So, nope, actually that line needs to be there. Oops. Well, hey, that'll add to the messy look, right? What I'm doing is, since these spaces are 6 of the grid across, I'm making the squares 4 of the grid across. It's the cool thing about using a dot grid, is that it allows you to just kind of, this would be, I'm deliberately making it a little messy, but it would, it allows you to be more precise with your framing. All right, now I can put the circles in. I needed that as a reference so that I knew where to put the circle. The circle, of course, is for the date. Notice that we're not trying for a perfect circle. Although, honestly, if I were a little kid, I'd be pretty impressed with myself with that, Like, if my grandkids drew a circle that straight freehand, of course, I'm 50, but, I'd be like, wow, that's impressive. Good job, kiddo. So, reasonably, this could be some little kid's best, right? Okay. Incidentally, how I use the reference for that, if you're like quick drawing something at some point like this, is that since I knew there were 6 spaces across, that means that there's 7 circles, or 7 like dots, right? So I just circled the 4th dot, right? Because it's obviously the one in the middle. Now from here, am I going to color those? I haven't decided. I think that for the moment, we're just going to put the dates in. And then I got to think about what my goals are actually going to be. Kitty, I know you're bored. I'm almost finished. I will quit here in just a moment because it is past my hour here. I have to leave the orange ones because I don't have the orange felt in here right now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I should have just paid attention to position. 9, 10. We'll be going over the yellow ones again with a black felt because otherwise you will not see them, right? $13, $14, $15. Why we're doing this like this instead of with crayon is so that we can read it. Like, it's totally, and I'm old and this is practical. And I don't really want to squint to try to figure out what the date is every time I want to track my score, right? So we are not sacrificing function for form. I mean, you can if you want. That's a choice you can make with your journal. But it is not a choice I am making. My form is always functional, so. Okay, now what I need to do is in the same felt color, I will put what my goal for the day actually is going to be, and then I'll have, like, by that date, I need to have that goal of word count, right? And then the rest of it will be, the last box will be what I actually achieved. And I think rather than coloring them in, I think I'm just going to leave the outline like that because it gives that kind of sketchy feel. You know, like it feels like a sketch. Now over here, I'm going to want room for you did it or you didn't stickers, right? So, because that's a very important part of my process is the funny, life is hard and I deserve stickers. Yeah. So, I have to think about how I'm going to set that up though. This is probably a good place to quit for the day because I am 15 minutes over time already. Thank you all very much for joining me today. All right, let's see who is online. I don't even know. Christy, of course. Let's go visit Christy harder. Thank you, everyone. Remember that somebody loves you. I will be back tomorrow at my usual time of roughly noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK, and 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. I don't know why it always hangs up there. It's very weird. But yeah, we're gonna go visit Christy harder. And I'll be doing my usual writing stream tomorrow. Mostly I'm doing summer camp prep at this point. Maybe we'll read some articles together. Hey guys, if you're in the community and you have some articles that you'd like to show me, tomorrow would be a great day for a showcase because I'm working on the summer camp homework and I'd like to brag about what you're doing on my summer camp prep article. So consider what you might want to share. All right, we're going to go see Christy. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.